Good afternoon, Daniel and friends. It's time to discuss the great debate. And I like to think that it's one of these points where it's many times logic over emotion. And we'll have to see how my theory works out on this a little bit. But let me begin by saying that um, from when I first started watching Donald Trump campaign and debate back in the primaries of 2016, I was never impressed how great a debater he was. But because I remember the first time I saw him, I thought, oh, he didn't do that well. And yet, I thought, well, as time goes by, you get a little bit of it. But at any rate, 2 days later, a day or two later, the polls came out and he goes up. And next debate I'd see, and he's kind of rough. He was picking on someone, calling him a name or whatever. And well, he'd go up again. And to the point where he came out about him, saying some nasty things. And I thought, well, he's finished now. Boom, he apologizes, goes up again. And then when John McCain, he said some things about John McCain in one of the debates, and I thought, wow, this guy, that's it for him. No veteran will ever vote for him. Boom, he apologized and goes up again. And so on Tuesday night's debate, I kind of felt the same way. Is that he did okay, but not as good. I just thought, and I suspected that the Democratic people were just doing handstands and high fives and popping the champagne because Carmela came out as better than Joe Biden, and that she's a capable, normal person, at least in the debate at any rate. And but there were some things in that debate that came out that were obvious to the watching public. Is that when when Trump was check-fact early in and about Springboro, Ohio, and of course I lived in Ohio for a few years, and I understood that Springboro was kind of a liberal town. In fact, it was all right to smoke pot on the streets there, and it was an affluent, nice little community. And so when they said they checked with the city manager, was a Democrat at any rate because it's a Democratic town, that no problems at all. But then the following day, when the true fact checkers were on the internet and boasting about what difficulties they had, it was a stark awakening of just how that debate went. And on the social network, they're talking about the videos of them eating cats, and ducks were disappearing from the park that they have there, and the Canadian geese. Now, bear in mind, in Ohio, those many of those animals are protected, especially the Canadian geese and the ducks at the pond and the swans. And so if you were caught killing or taking one of those animals, they'd go to jail. And if you had a car, they'd confiscate your vehicle. So they're very, very tough as far as animal protection goes. And then there was other comments about them with the cars. And the cars have Ohio has a stringent driver's concerns. Is that when I first moved to Ohio, as an adult, I had 3 children at the time, and I had to take a driver's test. And the immigrants, from what I understand, have a waiver where they have a government document that says their age, and that's all they need, and they will be issued a temporary driver's license in Ohio, which comes in handy at election time, of course, I guess, for some reason. And on the social media, they brought out not only about the cats and the dogs disappearing and the ducks, but as far as the accidents in town, they said there's some crazy accidents and some fatalities as well with these Haitian drivers. Because with the driver's license in Ohio, you have to have to drive, you have to have the insurance card with you, and if you don't, how they get insurance is something else also. But if they don't even have insurance at all, but they're given a temporary card to drive, and that temporary card is good for 45 days. And after 45 days, they just go back to the motor vehicle and then they issue them the driver's license. And since the other night, Governor Wine has dispatched the state police to go in to curb the unrest that's happening in that town. So there is problems there, needless to say. And so he's dispatched the state police along with, I think, about $2.5 million or something like that to help in there. And of course, along with the money, I think he's shipping in dogs and cats, cats, and ducks to settle down the kinfolk. But that, among other things. But the Tuesday night debate itself was kind of interesting. Is that I liken it to like a world wrestling match or national boxing match, and I could just visualize the way that it was handled. You might say it was kind of exciting. You could just visualize a boxing match, or when Hulk Hogan was wrestling or something, you'd see, and the announcer would get up and I have a microphone here, so I'll try it. In this corner, we have the former president of the United States with less than $2 gas and no wars, low inflation. From New York, the orange man, Donald Trump. Big applause, big applause. Thing in the left corner is the non-born American citizen, a Democratic primary winner. Oh, whoops, I mean, she didn't have a Democratic primary. But I mean the secretly appointed candidate for president with many beautiful taxpayer giveaways and meaningless phrases and words, Giggles Harrison. Little applause. Helping Giggles in this death-defying debate is the ABC tag team, Happy Face, David Murr, and No Shoulders, Lindsay Davis. Big crowd of cheers. This will be a fair 90-minute debate. Wink, wink. Fact-checking when appropriate, and pillow soft questions for females. We hope you enjoy this cleverly planned event. And I think that's kind of off. A little humorous. The end results for me was that Trump again proved something that he went up in the polls a little bit. He did not lose one vote. Not one did he lose. And he proved how corrupt, well, he didn't lose any votes. And Carmela, although she didn't gain any votes, there were 0 votes gained for Carmela. Now to her crowd, the Democratic Party and over at CNN and the rest of the redheads over there, they were high-fiving and popping champagne, and they were giggling, and oh, this is the greatest thing. But remember, after any boxing match, and they were all wanted a rematch and do another campaign, remember, bear in mind that and after a boxing match, the loser is the one who always wants a rematch, not the winner, the loser. And what I happened to notice, so I went over to CNN, which surprised me, and they did a little show, and the people that they interviewed. They had interviewed 10 people. And now these were open-minded people, not committed to anybody before they went in. At the end of the show, 6 out of the 10 were going to vote for Trump. 3 were going to vote for Kamala, and 1 still hadn't made up his mind. But the most interesting one of the 6 was a young woman, and she said that she was favorable to Kamala. She liked her, but she said the facts didn't back her up. She said when she goes to the store, she sees the prices. When she goes to the gas station, she sees the prices. And she said that she knows what Donald Trump was about. And that's why she was going to vote. And if I was there, I would have patted her on the back because I said she was using logic over emotion. And that's to be the result, I think, of that debate, was that it was a big event, like a wrestling match, and unfair by the referee, and the winner was the champ. The biggest loser of it all was ABC News, who was a total embarrassment to network television, all kinds of network television. And the winner, I think, was Donald Trump. He accomplished 2 things. He pointed out again, even to the people who didn't understand very much, but they could see that it was tilted against him, period. It was 3 against 1. And Kamala, she proved that she was better than Trump, but not high caliber, just better than Trump. And when there's a lot of cheating that Democrats are going to be doing, they think that as closer they can get to her being a reasonable candidate, the better off their chances of cheating. Which reminds me is that what other event in life, a sporting event, your kids are in sports or whatever, would you accept cheating as a means of fair play? Cheating is not fair play. Cheating is cheating. Lying is lying, and too many people have sacrificed too many lives and fortunes protecting our right to vote. And the vote is so vital to our soul, and to accept the fact that we have a national campaign, a national election for the most important job and perhaps in the world, and we tolerate mass cheating, not just a little bit of cheating, but mass, and it's acceptable. That is the hardest part. And that's the saddest part about that debate the other night, was that the cheating that was going on in the debate was acceptable, and the cheating that may be going on in this upcoming election is acceptable. We don't have to take it. All we have to do is not accept lies. And I think that debate was a reflection of American soul not accepting the lies. Even though many Democrats may like Kamala or whatever, but the overall feeling of that debate was that it was a setup. And we have to get away from accepting lies and setups, because it's the truth that will set us free. And it's the truth that our government depends upon. That's why when they talk about the freedom of the press, it wasn't the freedom of the liberal press or the freedom of the conservative press. It was a freedom for open ideas of everybody, and to use our common sense with that open information. Enough for a little lecturing. Hope you enjoyed this quick little video and a short little lecture afterwards. Good day.